Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is a great pleasure to be at GEM Genève at the 8th edition and in the company of Lucia Silvestri, a friend and a former colleague. And I don't think Lucia needs much introduction, but as you know, she is a great figure in the world of jewelry with around 100 and over 140,000 followers on social media. And I am delighted that this afternoon she has found the time to come and talk to us and reveal some secrets behind the scenes of her work at Bulgari. So thank you very much, Lucia, for being here.
Thank you, Amanda.
As most of you know, what is very unique about Lucia is that actually she holds two positions. Since 2013, Lucia not only is a stone buyer, she selects the finest gems for the high jewelry collections of Bulgari, but is also the creative director of Bulgari jewelry. And as you probably can imagine, I think it's a job that for most, normally it's for two people, and Lucia manages to do it all herself. So creative director and stone buyer. And so Lucia's going to explain how she can manage all this. And of course, it didn't start by accident. Well, it started by accident. But let's see, there's a wonderful photograph. Lucia here, I think you in your full glory. Lucia loves jewels. And here we see Lucia with one of her creations, quite recent.
Yes, this is from good evening, and thank you for coming. I'm not a big fan of public speaking, so I'm quite nervous, but because Amanda asked me, she is a friend, so I said, okay, but I'm a little bit nervous, but anyway, I'm here and happy that you are here with us. So this is a beautiful necklace from a Magnifica collection with an incredible ruby, 10 carats, and the extraordinary fact is that this necklace can be worn in 9 different ways. So it's an amazing piece of art. So we really think that our jewels, especially for high jewelry, are a piece of art.
But of course, Lucia created this Magnifica, what is it, 2 years ago is the collection? Yeah, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So, but how did it all start, Lucia? Because you started in the world of jewelry a bit by accident, because Lucia told me she wanted to be a biologist and a nutritionist.
Yeah.
So, quite a change. How did it happen?
It was by accident, of course. I started to work in the Bulgari company when the company with the 3 brothers, and they had only 5 stores in the world, and of course I started with Gianni, and as a secretary, and then when I discovered the table of Gianni, Paolo, and Nicola full of gems, I felt in love immediately with the gems, and I started to dream about the gems, and they probably understood that I could develop a passion that was only at the beginning, and from that moment, I cannot live without the gems.
And that was 45 years ago?
45 years ago. I was very young. I was 5 years old. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. But of course, I was very young, yes.
So 45 years ago, so it has taken, it's practically nearly a lifetime, and in a job in job terms, it's definitely a lifetime. So gradually you gained experience, and then from Gianni, you then followed on with Paolo Bulgari,
and Nicola.
And you helped really Paolo in sourcing gemstones.
Yes, yes.
And helping really to put together the high jewelry pieces, isn't that right?
Yeah.
And so shall we see one of your first jewels that dates to 1987?
Yes, I think this is my first creation. I was not a creative director at the time, but I was alone in Sri Lanka, and I was selecting these sapphires, blue and yellow sapphires, and I asked the supplier to recut the stones in this shape, oval shape, in more regular shape, and I proposed the mixing of these gems to Mr. Paolo Bulgari, and for the first time he said, "Okay, you're right, brava. We can go with a beautiful necklace with pearls and then earrings and everything." But this is my first piece as a buyer, not a creative director, because I want to tell you that my first source of inspiration becomes from the gems. So I started as a buyer, but because the big inspiration comes from the gems, I started to develop my creativity from the beginning. Because one of the first lessons that I learned from Mr. Bulgari, it was, don't buy a stone if you don't know how you can use it. So I started to develop my creativity from the beginning.
And what is interesting is that this piece was bought by Baron Thyssen-Bornemisza for his wife, number 5, and Carmen Cervera, and now it has been bought back for the Heritage Collection, and so in a way it has come back home. So
baby, come back.
The baby has come. And anyway, so this was of the Baroness Bornemisza, and so your lesson is that the stones, this is what you learned from Paolo Bulgari.
Yes, but I have to tell you that the 3 brothers are my mentors, my teachers. This is one of the lessons, but I learned so many lessons from them, and I still learning from them. And I'm very lucky because I start in the best way. In this world, I start in the best way.
Yeah, I mean, it must be rather terrifying having a teacher called Mr. Bulgari.
Yes.
So well done for surviving and learning. And Lucia, this was your first piece that you really put together, and it was obviously a great success, very representative of the Bulgari style. Now, do you still work in the same way, or have you developed?
No, the same way. The same way when I looking for the stones, of course I'm thinking immediately, what can I do with the stones? Something is changed because now I have a big relation, a personal relation with the gems. So I buy the stones that they have to speak to me. So this is the special relation that I have with the stones. And the way is the same. I buy the stones, I put the stones together. And for me, one of the key words is harmony. They have to be together with harmony.
Harmony. Now, what is very interesting is, well, Lucia, Lucia is very difficult to say what is the standard day of Lucia, because Lucia is traveling, inspiring, giving directions to designers, and so it's very hard. But I wanted you to have just a look at Lucia's desk. Normally, one thinks that a desk in an office, what do you expect? Pile of papers, a computer. Well, Lucia has a dream job and also a dream desk. Yeah. Let's see, this is Lucia's desk. So what happens here, Lucia?
I'm playing with gems, and during my creative moments, I'm singing, I listen music, and I feel like a painter with the colors. And
it's your kind of Lego.
Yes, exactly. And of course, I know that I'm working with a gift of the nature, and I really believe in the energy of this gift. So I have to take care of them.
And the boards that you position
Yeah.
the stones, and they are with sort of kind of wax, or not?
Yes, a kind of wax.
Kind
Yes.
of wax. So you actually position
Yes.
in a way that sort of gives you an idea, and you can show them
Exactly.
to the design.
This is the first step for the high jewelry. The high jewelry with color gem, the process is exactly this process, starting from the gems, playing with the gems, find the right harmony between them. And then the second step, talking with the designer. So I want to tell you that it's not only me, but it's a teamwork. So I start with the gems, giving the suggestion to the designers, and then we work together for the links between the gems. And of course, you can see color gems, but never we forget diamonds, because diamonds are our best friends, of course.
Of course. Now, this is, of course, a more formal photograph, but Lucia has allowed me to show you a more completely casual photograph of her desk, which I took this summer. So this is actually really 100% true. I was there, and this comes from my phone. And you can see is Lucia playing her precious Lego, which then leads to the creation of a high jewelry piece. And then Lucia has even allowed me to show you something else. Now, even more, we can have more fun looking at Lucia is creating a fabulous multicolored sapphire necklace.
Wow. It's a very special moment because I like to play with these colors. They are sapphires, fancy color sapphires from Sri Lanka, different shapes, sizes, and colors. And I like to feel the sound of the gems. I like to really touch them. It's very important to touch them and to feel them. So I like to play, making a kind of impossible necklace, of course, but beautiful and full of colors.
And this is a special gift for us here. Another over here.
Impossible. And this is for you. Thank you. This is for Amanda.
No, for all the audience here. So thank you, Lucia. So this is an unusual desk, and I think it's a desk that a lot of people would love to have. But of course, it comes with a lot of experience.
Of course.
Of course, and many, many years to get to be able to play this very precious game with arrangement of gemstones. And of course, your quest for gemstones brings you to travel a lot. And one of your favorite destinations and gem sourcing is?
I think that everyone knows that I love to go to India, and this is one of my favorite places, especially with rough. Thanks to our connections, we can work with suppliers that can manage the rough, and you can see here. And I don't know if you can feel that from the picture. My face is completely absorbed from the energy of the gems. I really feel in love with this kind of colors, gift, energy, beauty, because we are working with the beauty of the nature.
So what you have here, you have the rough corundum, you have rubies.
We have rubellites, huge rubellites, emeralds, green tourmalines, amethyst, chalcedony, rubies, emeralds, different origins. So we have a lot of stones, yeah.
And you have the privilege of being able to direct the suppliers
yeah.
in cutting it to what you
Yeah.
think would be something.
Yes, to see this beautiful ruff. Of course, to buy a ruff is a completely different job. So what can I do with ruff? I can talk with the supplier and suggest what I'd like to have with that colors, with that ruff. But of course, it's not really my job. But we can work together, deciding what can we do.
So it's again a teamwork
Yes.
and the
Yes.
sort of meeting of different expertise.
Of course, I can give my ideal cut, but of course, the expert are the suppliers.
The suppliers. And here is more, and here you're looking at obviously a cut. Lucia, what are you looking for in a gemstone? I mean, what is the ultimate?
So, color. When we talk about color gems, of course, the first thing is color. So, color has to be brilliant, vivid, intense, not too dark. Can be light, but not too dark usually. And then the clarity, of course, but the inclusion for us are quite important because we are looking for not also the perfection, but also something inside. The inclusion inside for me are the idea of the stone.
And the character.
And the character, the personality. I call the personality. And of course, the cut. I'm obsessed about the cut. And the suppliers here, they know that I'm obsessed with the cut. And one of the first things that I learned from Mr. Bulgari, to feel a gem. Without look at the color, just feeling the gems. If I like it, if the cut is elegant, soft, smooth, is a good cut for Bulgari. And everybody here knows about this obsession for the cut.
And so, Lucia, so you are choosing these amazing gemstones, and obviously you have to buy them.
Yes.
And you have to buy them at the right price.
Yes.
Which means you have to negotiate, which is quite a tough job. And I would say, especially in a male-dominated world, the world of gemstones is still very male-dominated. Being a woman and having to negotiate, was that a sort of a difficult task to learn?
Yeah.
How did you study?
I didn't study. I had these incredible teachers, of course, and at the beginning was quite difficult because I was very young, shy, and also petite, kind, and this male-dominated world was scary, really scary. And but I can tell you, with determination, passion, and sacrifice, of course, I got it, and now I can tell you that I'm very strong. And here in the audience, there are people that know that I'm very strong in negotiation.
You're very tough.
I'm very tough, and also I think that is one of my favorite parts of my job. I love to say that my soul is divided in two parts. One is very creative, very feminine, very nice, and the other one is very business oriented. So I cannot forget the price, the right price. So for this reason, I'm very tough with the prices.
Very tough. And tell me, can you give us some hints? What makes a good negotiator?
Of course not. This is a secret.
It's a secret. You're not, because I'm sure lots of people would love to have a little bit of your expertise to go out and negotiate some good deals here in Gem Genève.
No, I don't want to talk about this secret.
Because there are too many of your suppliers.
Especially here, too many suppliers.
But I mean, congratulations, because I really think, being Lucia told me before when we were having a conversation that when she started, of course, when she started negotiating, you said that everybody asked, well, no, I'm not going to negotiate with you. I want to negotiate with Mr. Bulgari.
Yes, it's true.
You're go away.
I was just a girl.
Just a girl.
Yes, I was just a girl. But the three brothers helped me a lot because they told me, you have to do it. And when some people like Mr. Bulgari ask you to do it, I did it. And so I started like this, with determination.
Tough teacher,
Tough
teacher and determination, and obviously a lot of charm. And I think that, but do you think being female ultimately now helps you?
Yes, at the beginning was it's kind of a surprise, and yes, I use my femininity always because I cannot forget that I'm a woman, but a tough woman. I like this.
So we will have to find some teachers to learn how to negotiate the best and the fairest price.
Yes.
But Lucia, so this is one of your pieces, and I think you can see very clearly the character of this emerald.
Yes, exactly.
How big was this stone?
It was, I say it was because we sold it. 218 carats. Colombian emeralds and cabochon, a kind of sugar loaf. With, of course, cabochon has to be with inclusion because of the nature of the emerald, but a great personality, and the size was amazing, really amazing size. And we created a necklace, a beautiful necklace, with in 3 ways to wear it, as a choker, with pearls, and as a pendant for the emeralds.
So, Lucia, your job, so you're buying the stones, and then obviously you have to direct the designers to create a design. So there's a constant dialogue. And then you said you obviously have to oversee the workmanship.
Yes.
So it's really, and always come up with new ideas.
Yes.
I mean, I would be dead with anxiety, but you obviously do very well because every year there's a new high jewelry collection.
Yes, this is a challenge, of course.
Of course, it's a great challenge. We have a few. You have selected a few pieces. Can you walk us through them?
Yes.
And so this one was part of the
Mediterranean collection, yes.
Which was last year's collection.
Last year, and it was it's an incredible piece, in a platinum necklace with diamond and emeralds. And with
sorry, this one is...
Oh, this is another one. You know that one of our icon collection is serpenti. This is a kind of serpenti with a head and with the pearl shape of the emeralds from Zambia. Incredible color. The quality of that emerald and the layout, so difficult to find a layout so beautiful, so clean and so intense in terms of color.
Then we've got one with sapphires. Yeah.
Incredible sapphire from Sri Lanka. We love sapphire from Sri Lanka because the color of Sri Lanka, I say that is a happy color for Sri Lanka. We like Burma sapphires, but my favorite is a Sri Lanka sapphire because of the color. So happy, never too dark, and full of life. Again, there is a beautiful emerald, cabochon. You know, cabochon for Bulgari is very important. And sometimes we take inspiration from our heritage collection. And you can see here that we took inspiration from a heritage, but with, of course, a modern touch, a contemporary touch in terms of creativity, but also in terms of craftsmanship.
And I think it's also your particular touch, and it's very Bulgari, the use of turquoise, calibrated turquoise.
Yes, we recut we mix precious stones with hard stones, and emerald and turquoise. It's a typical Bulgari combination.
Yeah, very, very beautiful. And finally, this is one of your favorite pieces, isn't
Yes,
it?
this is one of my favorite from my Mediterranean collection, and we used for the high jewelry. We have to be always there, and so the fact that we use, for instance, here citrine. That citrine is not so precious stone, but we like to enhance the beauty also of stones that are not so rare. And in this case, we used mandarin garnets, beautiful layout of mandarin garnets, and citrine. So with a touch of onyx, and the inspiration is from Mediterranean region, from the dune of the desert in North Africa.
And here is the final piece.
I think it's amazing. It's beautiful, and from the picture you cannot see, you cannot feel the flavor of the necklace, that is so soft and not rigid, and is a kind of a second skin when you wear a necklace like this.
So the large stones, the darker ones, are the mandarin garnets, and the other pairs are the citrines.
Yes.
And you've got you recut the onyx,
and in pink gold.
And in pink gold.
It's one of my favorite pieces.
And how many hours of workmanship?
1,800 hours.
1,800.
Yes.
So
and
phenomenal.
I followed the process from the beginning. After we decided design, there is a process of craftsmanship, of course. And every week, once per week, me and my team, we follow the process of the craftsmanship.
So in a very, let's say, very close relationship with the goldsmith and the construction.
Yes.
And you were telling me that it's a very sort of traditional and in a way old-fashioned way, isn't it? Because you don't have you allow a certain amount of interpretation also with the goldsmith.
Of course. I bring with me the legacy from Mr. Bulgari, and I can say that I'm the only one as a woman, I think, that I can follow the process from the beginning, buying the gems, to the end with the finished product. This is something that really, I want to say, really unique in the world.
And of course, you can also wear it.
Of course, I'm very lucky because I try everything. I'm so lucky that I can go to the meetings in the office with the high jewelry pieces.
That's a fantastic perk. And Lucia has also photographs besides the table of gems. There's also the wall of fame.
Yes.
And all her friends and herself in fantastic jewels. Yeah. And of course, it must give you great satisfaction to see them worn. And can we show?
Oh,
this is the high jewelry event of Mediterranean, and here are some of, well, here it is. So it must be very satisfying. And how many, your high jewelry collection, how many pieces do you more or less, I mean?
Yes, more or less a collection of high jewelry is 140 pieces, 150 pieces, yes, per year. Every year.
So it's a phenomenal amount.
Yeah.
And how much in advance do you work?
We started to work on the collection 16 months before the launch of the collection. But we start to collect the gems even 2 years before.
So it's a phenomenally long process.
Yeah, long process, yes.
Yes. And so you have already worked on...
And the new collection, 2025.
And 2024 is still a secret, and it will be the name of the collection and the pieces of the collection will be unveiled at the end of this month.
Yes, very soon.
Very soon.
I'm very nervous because we are finished, but it's not finished yet. So, but
and you're spending time with us here.
Yes, I cannot miss Gem Genève. I love Gem Genève.
Good, that's wonderful. But so it must be very, very stressful. So
Of course.
to meet the deadlines and to have everything ready.
Yeah, but at
for
the
launch.
end, me and my team and all companies, we are so proud. We are so passionate, so proud of our jewels. Not only high jewelry, of course, but for high jewelry, we are. I have to say, we are the best.
Of course. Well, that's what drives you, to keeps you on, because, I mean, you do something quite extraordinary. And Lucia, now you're also being creative director. You're also involved in creating jewels that are not worth millions, but lower value. And I know it's a given fact that it's much more difficult to design something that is worth $1,000 than 1 million, surprisingly enough.
Yes,
but
it's true.
you have to also do that. For example,
Of
here
course.
are some pieces.
Yes, of course, and we you can see here Serpenti. It's our main iconical collection. The name of this craftsmanship we call Pallini, Serpenti Pallini. And we took the idea from the past for our archive.
Yeah.
And yes, it's much more difficult, and because we want to take care of all the details, even in a small piece of jewelry. For this reason, we have to pay attention at the cost, of course, but without forget the quality.
So it's much tougher to
Of
be
course.
within those
Of course.
guidelines, precise guidelines. No, what I find amazing is that, you know, the snake is no novelty in jewelry. It
Yeah.
goes from the past.
Yeah.
And this is obviously a clear reinterpretation of something of the past, which we'll see in a minute. Is it, is it harder if you're referencing the past? Or is it easier? I mean, it's difficult, but you don't want to copy.
No, again, is a great challenge. It's a great challenge. We refer to the past, of course, but
that's-
in a contemporary way.
Yeah.
So
This is what you were inspired by. Yes.
Exactly. So you have to see from the past to nowadays that is a Bulgari piece from far. So my responsibility and the responsibility of the team is to create something new, contemporary, but with the same feeling. So you can see from far that is a Bulgari piece.
Yes. Which is
It's a great challenge.
It is because you don't want to copy the past, because this is a vintage snake watch. The head opens and there was a watch inside it. There is a watch inside, and it dates to the mid-1950s or mid to late 1950s.
It's amazing piece, of course.
Yes, amazing piece. And so
look at how modern is that piece.
Yes, very.
It's something so. Bulgari make me proud because you can see Bulgari is forever. This piece is really innovative at the time. If you think at the time that we made this piece, means that Bulgari was modern at the time too.
Yeah,
it's timeless.
And this is your modern interpretation.
Yes, more easy in some way to wear it. And look at the back. For us, it's very important, the back of the jewels. So you can see how the details of the grid.
So that, and also the sort of, it's a bit more edgy.
Yes,
isn't it?
also more, not aggressive, but more stronger, and in some way more feminine. We develop the creativity as can be a modern woman.
And finally, Lucia, you're a regular.
Finally, is the last question?
What?
Is the last question?
Nearly. We're clear coming. Lucia was terrified.
Yes.
She said, I can't speak for so long. I said, Lucia, we can speak for hours. There's no problem. And I'm sure all of the audience here would be fascinated to hear. But I know that you can't spend too much time, but it's already enough. No, what I wanted to ask you, you're here in J'aime Genève, and you say you love J'aime Genève.
Yes.
What do you gain coming here? I mean, why do you like it so much?
I like it because it's because of the size of the show. It's not too big, not too small, and the quality of the suppliers that I can meet here is very high, and also the jams. I started yesterday, and I already found it is something special for the new collection. And yes, I like the quality and the atmosphere, very positive, and yes, very
Friendly.
very friendly. Yes, not too big, very friendly. Yes.
So this is so you're a regular. So
Yes.
yes, I know you come always, and that's.
I cannot miss.
You can't miss.
No.
You can't. But so you're looking at gems, but I'm sure you must also your eye must fall on some vintage Bulgari pieces, of course.
Of course, for the inspiration, for sure, but also because I like to see the difference between a piece that we create 40, 50 years ago and now. And again, I'm very proud to be part of this company, and I feel part of the heritage now. After 45 years, yes, I can say that I'm a heritage piece.
You're a heritage piece. But tell me, what about, do you find amongst, in some of the booths, some of your creations from the past?
Yes.
And what do you feel when you see them?
Big emotion. I'm excited to see these beautiful pieces that they're selling in very high prices.
Yes.
So I'm very proud. Yes.
But is it like seeing an old friend again? I mean, you've had such an intimate relationship in the creation process.
Yeah.
Seeing them maybe after 25, 30 years.
Inside, yes. I can say, buongiorno, how are you? Because I remember perfectly when we create this piece. So yes.
So it must be wonderful. So yes. You come here to see beautiful gems and to meet old friends.
Exactly.
Both friends,
yes.
Walking friends and friends in the showcase.
Yes, for this reason is a positive energy. I feel the energy is very positive. Maybe because of the jams, but for sure because of the people around the jams.
Well, Lucia, I thank you very, very much for spending time with us and for sharing your passion and extremely long experience in the jewelry trade. And I'm sure that some people might have just one or two questions for you.
Okay.
So thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Madame.
Good afternoon, Isabelle Silvestri. I have a question. Since about 10 years, the jewelry market has changed a lot. More and more competition between the jewelers, more and more people interested in gems and connoisseurs and also collectors. And the beautiful gems are rarest. Did it change something in the way you are working and the way you're buying gems?
Of course, it's more difficult because of the rarity, because of the competitors, and the way I select the gems is more or less the same. But of course, we try to find more new gems, new combination of colors. This is the way that we try to do something innovative and different. And I think that in the last 10 years we did it because we used more semi-precious stones that for me are not semi-precious but are color gems. And we use more them for high jewelry, mixing with precious gems. So this is the way that it's changed a little bit, the way to use gems for high jewelry, for instance.
But your high jewelry collection has become much bigger.
Yes, it's for this reason we have to be innovative, creative, because we have to use precious and semi-precious or color gems in an innovative way.
Because 150 50 pieces is a huge collection.
One of the kind.
One of a kind is a huge collection.
Huge collection.
A huge collection.
Yeah.
Thank you. Hello, Giulia Castelli, and I had the pleasure of personally meeting and seeing Lucia at work at some of their fabulous events around the world, in Shanghai when they were launching Cinemagia, in Venice Film Festival. So, yeah, my admiration to you. And my question is, if you could share with us something special, it could be a special moment or funniest moment or proudest moment from your gem and jewelry career.
My God, there are so many. So many. It's a really long story. It's a kind of love story. There are many, but I don't know which one I can share with you. Maybe when I founded the 93 carats cabochon emerald from one of our fantastic necklace, hypnotic serpenti, that Zendaya was wearing in Venice at the film festival. That was a special moment. I was thinking that for me is one of the best moments in my career to manage this beautiful emerald. Thank you.
Hi everyone.
Hi.
I just wanted to ask, what is your favorite gemstone, and if you have what is your favorite collection of Bulgari, and what is your favorite perhaps a piece of jewel from high jewelry and from their regular collection as well? Thank you.
Okay, so my favorite. So I love all the gems. I'm in love with all the gems. If I have to say which one is my favorite, I can say sapphire. Because when I started to work, I thought that sapphire was only blue. And I discovered that can be any color. And I think that this gem represents my soul. Because outside, I can be one color. But inside, I'm full of colors. For this reason, sapphire is for me my favorite stone. Second question is always the last one. Yes.
Of course.
Yes,
of course. So we have to wait and see in May which is the favorite one for this year.
Yeah.
Thank you so very much. I'm from Geneva Times. My questions to you, before the question, I want to say that we are very inspired by both of you, actually. Thank you for that presentation. My question is that very often we hear that there's a lot of human rights abuses, unethical practices, and abuse in the supply chain. And how committed are you in dealing these abusive stories, and how do you manage that you're from supply to until you bring the jewelry to the client? How committed are you that this is properly followed up?
We pay a lot of attention, of course. It's very important. We have an office, a department that is in charge of this issue, because we know that it's very important. I'm not in charge in this, but I know that our company is one of the first that, for instance, used the Kimberley process for diamonds. So we put a lot of attention, yes, for sure.
Hi, Lucia. My name is Jana. I have my jewelry brand in Geneva and in Dubai. And I would like to ask you, you are a person with a huge experience in jewelry business. You are a star. Everyone knows you. You are dealing with gemstones every day, with jewelry. And just imagine yourself like you are a young lady without maybe this opportunity to work in Bulgari, and you have your own brand, maybe small brand. What would be your 3 important advices, 3 important lines?
Follow your passion. if you have this passion, follow your passion, determination for sure, and sacrifice. Yeah.
And
This is my...
And a pinch of luck.
Yes, luck, yes, of course, of course. This is I start in this way, follow my passion, that when I discover my passion, determination, because I wanted to be one of the best in the world, and I wanted from the beginning to be this, and of course, sacrifice, and luck, of course.
Well, thank you very much, Lucia. I hope we'll have other opportunities, and for sure we'll see you back in J'aime Genève, walking around.
Of course,
in the next edition. Thank you.
Thank you, Amanda. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you.